Welcome to another edition of The Lamp. I'm Kokomo Lantern Publisher Pat Munsey, and I'm here at Taylor High School today with Taylor Superintendent Steve Dishon, and I also have a couple of extra guests here with me. I have the Executive Director of the Kokomo Housing Authority, Derek Steele, and I also have the Health Projects Coordinator for the Howard County Health Department, Bethany Wenger, with me today. So thank you to the three of you for joining me today or allowing me to talk to you. We're going to talk about some very serious problems that are going to hit this community in very short order, and namely that is we are going to have a hunger crisis hitting us inside the next week. And so we're going to discuss what measures are being taken to try to forestall this or kind of blunt the impact, knowing full well that this is a problem that is probably much larger than what the nonprofit community can handle. And so we're going to be asking all of you to do what you can to assist us in this effort, because we're talking about tens of thousands of people and millions of dollars lost to this local community alone with the end of SNAP benefits, or food stamps as they're still known here in the community. So we're going to start with something a little more positive. We're going to talk with Steve about what's going on at Taylor High School with their upcoming Thanksgiving dinner and coat drive, and we'll also talk to him a little bit about what he's going to do to try to help in this coming food crisis. So Steve, thank you so much. Tell me a little bit about your annual dinner. This is not the first year you've done this.
No, so this isn't even in response to the SNAP issue that we're having right now. This is something that we've done, I believe this will be our 5th year, and it's a Thanksgiving meal and coat drive. And it's not just for Taylor Township people, it's not just for people who go to Taylor schools. This is for anybody in the community that is in need of a coat and a good meal. So on November 20th from 5 to 7 at the Taylor High School Middle School building, we'll be hosting a dinner. You can bring out your whole family. You can come in and you get a full turkey dinner. We have our band, jazz band playing. So you have some ambiance music while you're eating, which is pretty cool. And then in the gym, we have it set up and the family can go around and all of the kids can pick up a new coat, hats, and gloves for the winter, because we know standing on bus stops when it's 0 degrees out is brutal. We want to make sure that everybody has what they need. So there's just a great need in our community for this kind of help, and we are thrilled that we can do it. And we really want our schools to be seen as a community building, so where people can come and get support when they need it, because our kids can't be successful unless our families are successful, and we want to fulfill that role.
Sure. And so you need a little help in this regard from the community. You need donations of coats, hats, gloves, things like that?
We do. We're well on our way. We purchase a lot of these items. We want to have the best of the best for our kids, but we are still in need of some items, some coats, especially the larger coats. We were really able to get a lot of, your K through 3 or 4.
Okay.
Those sizes we have a lot of, but we're really struggling with some high school coat sizes, so we could really use those. We can always use the hats, we can use the gloves, and a donation would be awesome, and monetary, because we go out and purchase those things. And without those monetary donations, we would not be able to put this on.
Sure.
So we have a lot of generous people in this community who have helped already and allowed us to do this.
So how do people connect with you as far as bringing those coats or bringing those donations to you?
So if it's a donation, you would just come out to the high school building, door 1, which is central office, and my staff would be able to take those items from you. And if it's a monetary donation, likewise, you could show up at the building and do that, or you could mail something to Taylor Community Schools at 3750 East, 300 South in Kokomo. And we'll make sure that you get a little shout out or a plug for your donation. We want to make sure we thank everybody. We've had so many people who've been awesome and really supported us with big donations that have allowed us to purchase coats. I mean, we're talking about, I think we gave out almost 800 coats last year.
Right.
And fed that many people. Right. So,
and you're hoping to do more this year if you can.
We'll do as many as we can.
Right, yeah.
That's right. I mean,
but
bring
it's depending on you out there to make sure that they can meet that need, because that need doesn't go away. It comes back every year. And this is a good way to help out, at least this local community, this Taylor community. But like you said, the dinner is open to anyone from Howard County.
And we have people come from all over, and we do run a couple of white buses to pick up people because we have it out here, on the southeast side. Mm-hmm. People in the Heights can't necessarily get here, so we run buses back and forth, and we've even gone to a couple of apartment complexes and picked up people to come
Gotcha.
So we do that during the night. We would just need a phone call, expressing interest and having a ride, and we would make sure that you could get here.
And again, the phone number if they need that ride.
765-453-3035.
And so if I want to show up for the dinner, do I need to bring anything with me? Do I need the proof of income or proof of
Nope.
residency or anything like that?
Nope, you just be
Just
able
show
to walk through the door.
All right. And they're just going to hand you a plate and say, enjoy.
We will feed everyone. You bring a child with you, we'll make sure that they get a coat.
There you go. So that's pretty straightforward. Put that on your calendar for November 20th. I intend on being out here to be in the celebration with all of you. It's a great time. I've been out to the dinner before. I've enjoyed every visit that I've had out here because Taylor is a great community, and we are really blessed to have them out here. We're really blessed to have Steve running the show out here. So thank you, Steve, for all of that. Now, tying this into the coming crisis, which is going to happen somewhere around November 1st when SNAP benefits stop being distributed to people in the community. What is Taylor doing in the short term to try to address that need?
Okay, so we have a pretty robust pantry system at Taylor Schools. A lot of people don't know that. Our staff all give money out of their paychecks each time, so we can build up a nice fund to be able to support our community. And last night, I sent out a Google form through our Parent Square messaging system and invited anybody who felt like they were going to need support with food after November 1st, if they were to lose their SNAP benefits, that they could fill out this form, and then we would put them, in our little list, and we would make sure that they get a nice helping of food to get them through that first week. We will deliver if they need to be delivered to. We asked them what their favorite foods were because we'd like to get them what they want. We asked for food allergies, and make sure that we cater to what our community needs. So within half an hour, we probably had 50 people sign up,
Wow.
which is awesome.
Wow.
I hope we get some more. We want to make sure that we take care of everybody. And our plan then is at the end of next week to make sure that everybody has been delivered to.
Now, it's our sincere hope that the other school systems are in a similar position that Taylor is. Unfortunately, I personally don't know of that. So if you are with one of those schools right now and you're seeing this and you want people to know what you're offering to the community as well, please give me a call at 765-210-3442. I'll be more than happy to share that information with the community. We'll even put you on an episode of The Lamp so that you can tell people directly what you have on offer. This is open to any of the schools, not just the public schools, but the parochial schools and the private schools. If you have an effort going on right now that the people need to know about, please get a hold of me as quickly as possible so we can get that word out to the rest of the community. So, and thank you for your support in doing all of that. Now, on the other side here, the larger concern with more than 10,000 people who are going to go without food starting November 1st. Bethany and Derek have been hard at work over the last week, along with a great number of people. Don't think it's just two people here. We've got the Howard County Food Alliance, and we're lining up nonprofits and churches left and right, and even governmental units to try to address this. But these two have a much better grip on it than I ever will. So I'm going to turn it over to them to kind of explain what the need is and how we can address it and how you can be a part of it. So, Bethany, you want to start?
Sure. First of all, I just wanted to applaud and commend you, Steve, and the whole Taylor School Corporation. I mean, time and time again, you guys come through so strong for your community, and I just want to applaud that because ultimately what we are aiming for right now is to create a program that gives people access to what they need with as few barriers as possible, and you are also creating that for your school community and your families. So I just think that it's important to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
And so kind of moving into, I was just on the phone with Steve an hour before this, didn't know we were both going to be here right now today talking about this. So glad I made the ask before I showed up to talk about what Steve is going to do for us. But just to kind of create the landscape of what the situation is in November, we are set to, so in Howard County, we had 10,292 individuals in September of 2025 who were receiving SNAP benefits. That is about 4,900 households, and that equates to just under $2 million, at $1.9 million of actual SNAP dollars that were issued to those recipients. So what we know about how SNAP funding works to fuel the economy, every dollar spent by SNAP dollars equates to about $1.74 actually circulating in the economy. So economically, this is going to be a major hit for our local grocery stores, our local, farmers markets, and just farmers in general. So we're looking at a crisis, like you said, quickly coming. So the Food Access Alliance kind of came together last week, recognizing, right after that notice was issued, I think by the USDA or by the FSSA, I'm not sure who it came from, that SNAP was not going to be issued in November. We were like, we've got to do something. So over the summer, we had our summer feeding program for students K through 12 as a result of Indiana not participating in the summer EBT program, free lunches. So we had a little bit of a foundation to build off of from doing that program that we knew we could hit the ground running again to start this up for the first week of November this time around. So essentially what we're doing as a work group within the Food Access Alliance that's doing a lot of other work too, is this, we're just calling it the Howard County Feeding Program. And essentially we are working to identify different sites around Howard County that can serve as distribution sites to provide one-time weekly meal and a bag of food to take home that will provide 3 or 4 meals for a family or for a household. So we're identifying those sites. We are getting the site coordinators connected together and with the Food Access Alliance so that we can make sure to have a schedule of when the site is going to operate, what day of the week, what hours, what support they need from us in terms of being able to provide the hot or ready to eat meal at the time of distribution, in addition to coordinating and recruiting volunteers and money. We need donations. We need money to make this program happen, to actually get the food items to our storage and sorting and packing site, which is St. Andrew's Church, downtown Kokomo. They have been excellent. They have been so quick and eager to jump in and help and support however they could. So really great connection there. But essentially our volunteers will go and pack food once a week into X hundred number of bags, probably, 500 or 600, I would assume, at least, to start the first week. And then we'll take those bags to the different distribution sites, and then those distribution sites will have those buddy bags essentially ready for people to take home with them.
Right.
At that time.
And keep in mind that normal food pantry operation is not stopping or changing during this time. So if you've been going to a food pantry already, they're still in operation throughout this. If you go to kokomolantern.com, I just posted a story today, this is Wednesday, that has a list of all of the current pantries, their hours of operation, their requirements, both for Howard and for Tipton counties. That was provided by the United Way of Howard County's Informational Referral Department. They keep that list going on an ongoing basis. They're updated daily. So if there are any changes, you can find it on the United Way website, or you can call them at 765-457-4357 and ask for their informational referral department, and they can get you connected with the information that you're looking for that is the latest and most up to date. Also, United Way will be serving as the clearinghouse or the place where you want to make monetary donations or to volunteer your time. There is a dedicated account that will be held there for the funds that will be distributed out to this effort, and they'll also be able to point you in the right direction for volunteer efforts. So again, call them at 765-457-4357, ask for information referral, and express to them what you're willing to provide, and they'll get you hooked up.
Yeah, I think one thing that you point out, the food pantries are still going to be working, but they're going to be stressed to their max. And one of the things that we talked about yesterday and today, when we talk about food assistance in a community, research shows about 92% of that comes from this federal program and from the federal programs. Only about 8% of the food assistance in a given community is coming from the public sector and private sector, or from the private sector, whether it be a nonprofit or churches or other individuals. And so even if our food pantries double their capacity and their output, we're not touching the gap that's going to be created by this SNAP benefit. So that's why knowing that we have a lot of community members coming together, trying to be creative in how we're going to address this, Bethany and all of us at the Howard County Feeding Program, trying to come up with ways to get the food to the people. That's the other kind of issue that we see here with this. Those that receive SNAP benefits get that benefit directly to them. Mm-hmm. And so the people that go to food pantries, there's a bit of a kind of physical cost to go to the food pantry, get the food, bring it back home. And a lot of people receiving the SNAP benefits don't have that ability.
Transportation is the
Yes.
biggest problem there.
And so one of the things that our program that we've tried to design is to get that food to the people in the neighborhoods and the communities where the people are residing, so that we're eliminating a little bit of that transportation issue. So that's why the distribution centers are so important. And it's why site coordinators and volunteers are absolutely necessary. Over the summer, we wanted to have 6 distribution centers, but manpower limited us to 3. We want the same thing now. We need 6, 7 distribution centers. And so it's going to require a lot of manpower stepping up, being willing to volunteer. And we have such great partners with the churches, Greentown Wesleyan, St. Andrews, Reform Ministries, Reformation. We've already had such great output and response from that, but we need more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the manpower and the money is what's important at this point. There are no food stores right now for our program, so we're going to have to spend the money to go out and stock these first round of bags. We'll be doing food donations and kind of food drives in the future. Our plan is for this program that we're designing to last for 6 weeks, get us into and close to the Christmas holiday where we know a lot of other community providers are providing meals during that time. Yeah. And our hope is it's not needed beyond that.
Right. If you are a church or an organization that can provide a location for a distribution center, we need you to get a hold of this effort as quickly as possible. Bethany, you want to give your contact information for that?
Yes, please call me or text me at 765-860-4177. My email address is bethany.wenger, Wenger, at howardcounty.in.gov. Chances are I've probably already tried to be in touch with you because I've been making some outreach. But we ultimately need more churches and more nonprofits who have the capability to step in and provide the manpower, provide the organization. Not only do we need distribution sites, but we also need coordinated food drives. So we need a way to keep the supply of food items coming through in the next couple of weeks. So, over the summer we did a huge food drive with the Kokomo Police Department and Kroger that was, it provided so much of the food that we distributed through our summer feeding program. It was a hugely successful event, and we're hopeful to be able to launch another one of those here really quickly, really soon to get some more food donations. And I was so surprised how generous the shoppers at Kroger were. And I wouldn't have thought it based on the looks that I got when I was handing out my little request sheet of, here's items that we need. Would you like to buy some of these things to feed kids this summer? And I got death glares. But then they brought out 2 grocery carts full of cereal boxes and raviolis and, things like that, because nobody wants to see kids go hungry. I fail to believe that anyone wants to see people go hungry. So I'm so appreciative of the outpouring of support and generosity from our community that always comes together and always fights back when something like this happens. It's just a matter of coordinating and directing people into the right avenues and right places. So yeah, we need organized food drives to have that food delivered straight to our food storage and packing and sorting site. We need volunteers to come and pack the food on probably Tuesday evenings for an hour or two, and also to then deliver the food bags to the different distribution sites. So whatever you've got to offer, we can put you to work.
Yes. And we have a couple of areas of particular need. The north side of Kokomo is currently underserved with a distribution center, so we could use a distribution site. We can use food up in that area. Rushville, we still don't have anything confirmed for the town of Rushville. So if you are in Rushville and you know of a way to get a distribution center lined up and get a food drive started, we need that help in Rushville as well. I know that Tipton and Sharpsville and Kempton and Windfall all have food pantries going. They're probably going to need some help at some point as well too. So if you're in the Tipton County area and you want to help your community there, you can get a hold of United Way, because we serve Tipton County as well through the United Way office in Kokomo. So we can still connect you with Tipton County resources to make that happen. Really, the north side of Kokomo and Rushville are our biggest needs right now.
Mm-hmm. It's important to note there are 250 plus individuals in Rushville that are going to not receive benefits on November 1st. And I'm glad that we had the experience this summer and we have this program and we're kind of ready made. I am just taken aback that 4 months later we're having to put this back to
Sure.
into existence. But this community stepped up so many times, time and time again. The city of Kokomo has been extremely helpful both this summer and now here with this pending crisis. The city, the churches, the individuals, I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to someone over the last 3 days and been told, let me know what I can do. From professionals I've interacted with to people on the street to friends and family and people out of town. This community pulls together. I'm grateful that we pull together. I wish it wasn't under circumstances like this, but I'm amazed at how this community and leaders like Bethany and Steve, how we are able to help the community, and I'm grateful to be a part of this.
Sure. Now, we did go through this over the summer when the Sunbucks program through the state of Indiana was ended, and all of a sudden we had kids in every school district. All of us, they don't have a food avenue anymore. Can you tell me how Taylor handled that and how that might look going forward?
So we didn't lose funding because we are a CEP school, which essentially means everybody gets free breakfast and lunch due to our high poverty. Okay. So we weren't affected in the same way that other people were. And going forward, we have another year where we are considered CEP, and then we'll have to reapply again based on our poverty numbers and all of that. So Kokomo Centers and other schools like us, they get the free lunch and
Gotcha.
breakfast. So we're not affected quite as much.
Over the summer, were you still providing
We provided, yeah.
breakfast and lunch to students?
Yeah, and we obviously, with new legislation, you've got your second and third graders that are mandated to go to summer school if they don't pass the test. So we made sure to feed them breakfast and lunch every day. And we served out of the elementary school in Indian Heights.
Gotcha. And so will it be a similar type of distribution center then, system here coming up next week then, or?
So next week this is the one that we put together based on the need. We felt like, what are we going to do with our families? We can't have our kids being hungry. So we put this one together. My office is going to distribute the food for that.
Okay.
Working with Bethany, then moving forward to use the elementary school as that site. And we talk about manpower, but I have student power, and I have lots of students who are more than willing to help. So
That's fantastic.
Count on us for that, because kids love to get in and do those kind of things.
And honestly, that's something we've talked about. IUK, Ivy Tech, the high schools. I know National Honor Society is always looking for community service out. This is an opportunity for every member of the community, the youth in particular, to be involved, get active, and do something to improve our community. And so I call out as a professor at both those institutions over time. I know there's a number of people there that have the heart to do this, and just please reach out and get involved in any way you can.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of that, I am so excited to see students be able to get involved in this way. And with your contribution of your elementary school as one of the distribution sites, that's wonderful. And part of the program, when we provide the meal bags, is also to provide a hot or ready to eat, prepared meal at that time. So if you are a business or you are interested in making a donation or being a sponsor for one of those hot meals, it's going to be about probably $200 each distribution day. So over the course of the 6 weeks, it would be $1,200 total. But any little bit helps. We want to make sure that people who are coming are able to get a warm, comforting meal. It's cold outside, and things are difficult enough for people right now. Being able to connect with others over a shared meal at the table and to build community that way is a really, to me, integral part of this program, because we are a community. We don't just want you to, come in and pass through and leave. So we want to be able to provide that hot meal the day of. So we would love sponsors.
And I'll say, over the summer, that meal, that community, that was something that I consistently heard from each of the locations, particularly at Garden Square. We had residents who were asking, when are we going to have this start back up? Because that became a sort of highlight of their week, coming in, getting the meal, talking with our volunteers, talking with the community members, talking with each other, and then being loved on and provided. And that was something that became a huge part of what we did this summer. More than just feeding mouths and bellies, we were feeding those hearts and souls. And that's something that I think is a wonderful part of what we're trying to accomplish here by bringing people together instead of just handing out money. We want to bring that community and show our community who we are.
So keep in mind that this is an ongoing process. It's going to be developing and evolving as we move through the next few weeks, even the next few days. So this information is going to change come Friday. It's going to change again on Monday. And so you'll need to be aware of how these things change. The Kokomo Lantern is going to keep you informed as best we can as we get new information. But I'm not the only source out here. The Kokomo Tribune is providing coverage of this as well. The Kokomo Post has a list of pantries up on their site. So if you go to either one of those sites for news and information, they are also a part of this. I want to thank both of them for being a part of this as well. And anything that I can do to help you, please reach out to me. We want to keep you all informed. We want you to have the latest information so that you don't go hungry. I don't want anyone to go hungry. If you are at risk at that, please call United Way at 765-457-4357. Express your need so that we can get you connected into the resources that you require. And there's nobody sitting at this table or anybody that we're affiliated with that want to turn you away. So please don't be afraid to ask.
A couple other places where people can find updated information specific to this feeding program are going to be the United Way. They send out their monthly food pantry list. They're going to be sending out multiple iterations of it throughout October as that information November, sorry. Yeah. And also the Howard County Health Department website is going to have a link on it where you can go and access the most current up-to-date version of what the different distribution sites are. And I imagine there's going to be some others as well where people can find that information. Yeah, I had another thought and then I lost it. But.
That's all right. So again, if you have information.
Oh, we're starting next Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, starting next Wednesday, the live food pantry distribution system. So next Wednesday. So keep watching your local social media, local media outlets, the sites that she just described, so that we can get you that latest information so you're prepared when these doors open and the food's made available. Yeah. Is there anything else that we need to share with people other than please stay connected, and if you have something to bring, please contact us.
Yeah, absolutely. We are just grateful for whatever anyone can do. Any little bit helps.
All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining me today, allowing me to share this with the community, and thank you for watching. And as always, until you see me next time, please be good to each other.